Every animal needs somewhere to live. And when an animal lives in a certain area for a certain while, that area is called a habitat. In the ocean, there are lots of different habitats. Different size animals need different types of homes. But in order for an area to be an animal's habitat, they need to find a few things. They need to find food, shelter, water, and oxygen. Let's have a look at a few of those habitats. A lot of people don't realise that the sandy beaches, they're a habitat. All that sand that you see, that provides shelter for lots of different animals that live underneath. Shellfish, worms, and little guys like this, crabs. They bury underneath there, then they come up on top looking for food, then they scurry back down underneath again. Really, really important habitat area. It connects the ocean to the land. Mangrove swamps, an amazing habitat area. The tree roots that come up out of the sand in the soil, they help the plants breathe when the water comes in, but it also supplies a place for animals to hide. They can hide in behind there and then they can ambush their prey, but they also trap food for the animals as well. So, mangrove swamps got all the elements we need: food, shelter, water and oxygen, a really important habitat. Seagrass beds, a really cool habitat area, usually found in shallow waters just off the coast or in rivers and canals. And in them you find some pretty amazing animals. None more amazing than the seahorse. They actually use their tail to hold onto the seagrass, waiting for their prey to come past. Tiny little shrimps when they reach out and grab them. Seagrass beds, really cool places. Did you know that corals are actually tiny, tiny living animals? And they make the coral reef, which is the home around them. The coral reef that they make supplies homes for millions of different animals. And probably my favourite would be Nemo. They are called an anemone fish. An anemone is an animal just like an upside down jellyfish that's got stinging tentacles. The clownfish, he swims in amongst them and he lives there because he's protected by those stinging tentacles. So, the coral reef is one of the best habitats you'll ever find. Different animals come in different shapes and sizes. The bigger the animal, the bigger the habitat. And the biggest animal of all are whales. So where do they live? The open ocean. They live out there because there's lots of room to move around and it's where they find their food. They need a lot of food and the food that they eat is plankton. One of the most fun and popular places of all to go, the Rocky Shore habitat. You find all sorts of different animals and here we've got a black sea cucumber. He hides in amongst the rocks when the tide's up, then he comes out when the tide's out and he goes eating the sand. So come down on the weekend, have a look around the rock pools, see what you can find. All sorts of creatures make the Rocky Shore their habitat. As you can see, there are lots of different habitat areas in the ocean. Areas where animals can find food, shelter, water and oxygen. These habitat areas are really, really important. It's up to us to understand them so we can help look after them.